I think that the purple team is going to have the advantage in this one just because of the fact that they're going to have a lot tankier team by the looks of it. Rise gets tanky, Malphite obviously very tanky. Jax, depending on how you build the new Jax, may or may not get tanky. I've actually tried Atmogs on him and it worked perfectly fine. A lot of people still do the old build, which doesn't make him as tanky, but makes him a lot more damage. Mumu obviously gets tanky, and Graves is a tankier AD carry, so...
Well, you have to always watch out for the fact that Corki does do 15% extra true damage on every attack.
That is true.
So, you know, obviously, if he's very behind, that's not really going to be... It's going to be negligible.
Dude, shut up. People are just coming in my room.
Yeah, that's fine. So, either way, I think this should be a very interesting match.
Yeah, definitely.
And at this rate, it's 9:15 right now, and we're just starting, so the next match will definitely be bumped in time. Sorry, we just kind of ran into a huge kind of kerfuffle. I wanted to say a different word that contained something I shouldn't say on streams, but I'm going to say kerfuffle. So we are starting quite a decent amount late, but, you know, stay up past your bedtime, watch the later matches.
It'll be fun.
I think the final match, I'm going to put it on Crystal Scar just to kind of toss it up, unless people overwhelmingly don't want to play that, you know, just to keep things fresh. Yeah.
Defon in the IRC says, I think the word you were looking for was fustercluck.
Yeah, there was something to do with that. I believe it rhymed with fustercluck.
Yeah, I actually didn't even think about that. I almost cussed at my friend who just barged into my dorm room because my roommate doesn't believe in locking the door. Wink, Chase, lock the door.
Oh well.
Chase, there you go.
Oh no, actually. Looks like it's anybody's game, because as everybody knows in League of Legends, whoever has the most skins always wins. And right now it's 2v2. Got Little Knight of Mumu and Vandal Jax versus Aviator Aurelia, and I honestly don't know the name for that Shyvana skin.
Badass Shyvana. There.
Yeah. Badass Shyvana.
I kind of wish Aurelia, Shyvana, Amumu, and Jax were all on the same team so we could have Team Foreskin.
Yes. So Bilinguent is saying it's called Skin Intimidation, and I think that needs to be an official thing now. Yes.
I'll use that word. I actually say that my Vlad skin, the legendary one, actually gives 5 bonus AP just for being so intimidating.
I know that Pentakill Sona makes you look like an idiot because it sucks, and I can't believe I bought that.
You don't like that skin?
I hate that skin. All of Sona's skins are not really that great in my opinion, except for the Christmas one. I bought the Chinese New Year one. So it looks like we got most people on the blue team, starting out with Boots and Pots, or Rise with Mana and Pots, and Shyvana with Armor and Pots. And on the purple team, we've got Mumu starting out with a Regrowth, Malphite starting out with a Regrowth, not really surprised there. Rise starting out with the same build, except he has an extra pot, unless that's a glitch, so he might have gotten the extra 40 gold from Masteries.
Maokai only bought a Regrowth, though, and he did not buy anything else. He does have 40 gold sitting there, so...
He could be pooling it and waiting. Jax is starting with the Doran's Blade. And Lux actually going as support. Support Lux, very big damage early game if you can get a coordination down with your teammate or get your auto attacks in. That passive, a lot of people don't think it does that much damage, but at level 1 it does a lot.
She also has that snare, which is very nice to get a couple easy poke auto attacks in.
The double snare, yep. So Mumu just kind of waiting around, doing his thing.
Yeah, we see Mumu going to be starting at blue, where Shyvana actually is taking the wolves first. So I feel like Shyvana is going to have a bit of a faster jungle.
Definitely. So right off the bat, we see that the difference coming up between the first game and the second game, first game being 1500 plus elo, second game being below level 30, is that The below level 30 game, nobody even trying to do any sort of jungle invasions. People just keeping it safe, locking down their own buffs. Not really surprised on that at all. I mean, even at 1300, 1400 where I'm sitting in solo queue, which, as we've said, basically is what this is because these players don't know each other, is pretty much what you're going to see. You're not really going to see a whole lot of invasions because people are less coordinated, things like that. And until you get up to the higher elos, it's not as common.
Someone said, is support Lux usually go boots and pots? Supports never usually go boots and pots. It's just we are assuming that since Lux is taking the CV and going bot lane with Corki, that she was going to support. But she is, fighting for the CS with Corki. They're both at 4, so you never know.
And, yes, so saying actual roles like solo top, jungle, whatnot, is less applicable to lower levels, just because, like we said, people haven't settled into the meta yet. They're just, learning the new champs, which is actually what makes it so interesting, because we will see things like Malphite in Graves Bottom, which is basically a very tanky lane with a lot of armor. Or we will see, like, if Lux can somehow get some kills, get some CS, and start building AP, that is a very dangerous lane down bottom and can get a lot of kill potential. The big question is the if, and that's the reason why we have a meta, is generally because you don't want to gamble on that if. So, Rise v Rise derp lane in the middle.
Yeah, it's like watching mirrors fight each other.
Oh man, I hate playing blind pick for the reason of having to go up against someone who plays the exact same character as you, because if they get ahead of you like in 1 kill or 10 CS, it's so hard for you to come back unless you just straight out play them. But we can't play draft mode at this level just because most people don't have that many champs unlocked.
Yeah. So, I'm kind of interested by the top. We do see Jack starting with a Doran's Blade, whereas Irelia started boots, health pots. Irelia does a lot of damage, and she does do true damage, but if she procs her W, but I feel like he should have still gone with the cloth armor.
Shyvana coming in up top.
Yeah, Shyvana does come in for a gank, but Jax does have his stun up, so he should be able to avoid that.
Meanwhile,
getting really low in mid.
Amumu trying something in mid, but missing his bandage toss. If he landed that probably could have been a first blood, even with Rise as low as he was. I think they could have bursted him down in time. So, since part of the main directive of this stream is to inform, just kind of without making too much of a judgment call on the kind of things that are going down bottom lane, Lux is making herself, she's in a very dangerous position right now by using this many abilities. Her opponents know that she has very little mana and can't really do a whole lot. Let's see, how much mana? She has 76 mana. I think she can use 1 snare with that. Snare might be 80. I can't remember the exact amount. But an Lux is useless, like most casters. Rise right now also. Amumu could, Shyvana could come out of nowhere right now. He doesn't have any ward coverage. He doesn't know. Actually, the other Rise...
Rise looks like he's going to pick up the first blood.
There you go. That's why you try not to stick around with that low health. Especially if... Did other Rise have Flash and just not use it? No, he had Ghost. If you don't have Flash, you want to be very wary when that kind of stuff happens. Shyvana going in bottom. Taking a lot of damage to Graves, though. Corki using his...
goes up.
Yeah. Corki used his Valkyrie to get in close.
Didn't look like the Ignite was going to be able to do enough, and Malphite should be safe. He is going to back and be able to shop. He does have, 705 gold, so he will be able to get a nice item. Actually buys his Philo Stone, so...
Both Rises starting out with the same build. Both building Tears of Goddess first. Pretty much typical right there.
An interesting thing about the way we're doing is that we saw the teachers play. A lot of these players were actually watching these, mid to high elo players playing, and now they get to almost try to reenact that because, just watching is learning. So,
Aurelia kind of doing the troll laugh up here, spamming slash L. Jax is saying, I won't have any of that.
Get out of my lane.
Unfortunately, with that damage that he did with the leap strike, he kind of scared her a little bit away from Mumu's gank. But she could be bandage tossed right now. So.
Well, she does have a ward over there in the tri-bush, so she probably saw it coming. I did see pings go down on a Mumu from blue team, so. Shyvana is making her way up the lane though, so I think they're going to try to bait this gank.
Ryze mid is losing, taking... Oh, he might go down. Yeah, he will go down to Ryze. That sounds so... Oh, but the other Ryze might go down to minions! No, just getting the aggro off. He is very low right now. But he knows that Amumu's top, so he's kind of being able to push his lane right now. Sitting relatively pretty and relatively safe and secure. But Amumu is coming down. Their blue buff is up.
It looks like we see our M5 Shyvana doing the M5 thing and invading.
Will Amumu try to tower dive? He will! And he will take down Ryze! Great tower dive there by Amumu.
Well played.
He knows that even without low items at that health, he could safely tower dive Ryze by himself, and he took the chance and it paid off.
He is now going to find out that his blue buff got stolen. Oh, depressing. Sad Mumu.
What? Honestly, I've never heard of a Mumu being a sad mummy before. He's usually so happy. But you know, yeah, when his blue buff gets stolen, what are you going to do? Shyvana getting really low to red. She could die to creeps with this.
Yeah,
I think
she was actually really low when she tried to invade and take the blue, and then she just doesn't have it in her to take the red as well.
Jax jumping on Aurelia. Dropping Counter-Strike, getting the stun.
He can do a lot of damage here.
But since he actually does have level 2 boots, he could have kept up with her with that. Decided not to. I suppose because his leap strike wasn't up. Bottom lane just mostly being a farm fest right now. 22 and 32 to 20.
Ryze nearly going down to blue team Ryze. Sitting at below 30 HP before he pops his HP pot. Blue team's Ryze is just completely dominating mid.
Mumu coming in, it's just straight down the lane to make sure it doesn't push too hard. I would definitely recommend that other Ryze be right now.
And it looks like he heard you.
For those watching, you obviously didn't hear me because we are on a 3-minute delay, so there's no ghosting going on right now, I would imagine. Or if there is, it's not very useful. Amumu landing a nice bandage toss on Ryze. But Shyvana...
Jax nearly took down Irelia top. He did put the ignite, but
Shyvana trying to dive, but Ryze saying, no, I don't think we should do that on an Amumu. So Shyvana having to come out. Using her flash to, of course, initiate that. And now she will go up on Jack's top.
Yeah, he does have no ward coverage, so...
He could get baited. Oh!
He misses her E, but she does manage to keep up with him a little bit. He does flash and stun them, so...
That Counter-Strike.
Yeah, he will be able to get away safely. The fact that they're buffing the Counter-Strike kind of astounds me. His Counter-Strike is already very useful. I don't think it needs a buff. I don't think they need to make it triggerable on command.
I think it's mostly for when Jax is fighting magic damage dealers. I mean, right now, Counter-Strike is pretty much useless on a magic damage dealer unless you can somehow get them in the stun. Whereas old Jax, of course, had his ultimate that gave him MR. So I think that's the main reason why they're doing it, but it'll definitely make him unbelievable duelist 1v1 against...
Looks like the Ryze are trading again, and it looks like Blue Team Ryze is going to take this one. Yes, he is. Purple Team Ryze did cast the Ignite out, but it wasn't nearly enough. Ryze very full health, or close to it, and going to be able to put some damage down on this mid turret.
Shyvana getting jumped on by... getting stunned. Can Amumu land the bandage toss?
That stun. I don't think he is going to be able to get that Shyvana, though, which is kind of sad. I was hoping it would happen.
Amumu having too little mana to use his ult, or he probably could have gotten Aurelia there too.
Ooh, but the game's not over, so he is gonna back, which is surprising me. She is very gankable. I guess he's just too low on mana.
Yeah, a couple people saying in the IRC that Purple Team Rise has only one normal win. That could be, you know, definitely doesn't help. But it is kind of hard to judge the skill level of people without the ELO system. So in the future, I'm trying to think of a much better way to pair up, you know, students so that things like that don't happen. It really came down to the fact that I think that Blue Team Rise got ahead early, and he just knew to keep that, where Purple Team Rise, I guess, just thought that he could still, you know, survive 1v1, when really at this point he needs help to be able to survive against Rise, let alone kill him.
Yeah, someone said hopefully it doesn't discourage him, but honestly at this point, like, I mean, this is Summoner School. What they need to know is that, you know, you may get completely dominated in lane, but it teaches you, like, even if you get destroyed in lane, it's going to teach you, okay, here's what I did wrong, like, maybe I should have not engaged this time, or maybe I should have done this better. I mean, like, getting destroyed is a learning experience. It's not a happy one, but it's still a learning experience.
And on that note, just for if Purple Team Rise Modern Explorer decides to watch the video on demand, I'm just going to say, if I was him right now, I would definitely start building some MR. Just keep farming as much as I can. Stay far back from that other Rise. Make sure I land my last hits. And, you know, try ganking other lanes if I can. I've played games where
just be like completely
people have been stomped, and then they literally abandoned their lane entirely and just ganked other lanes like 4 times and then got the items that they needed, and we won. Yeah, my friend was playing Pantheon 2v1 against Yorick and Rumble, I think. He was like, you know, I can't do anything. I'm under my tower, I'm losing experience, I can't CS. They can just dive me if they want, so I just said, you know, just leave your lane, gank mid, you're Pantheon, you've got a reliable W stun. He did that, and we ended up winning.
And we can also, I mean, like, say that it'll teach Amumu, the jungler, hey, you know, my mid's losing really hard. Like, their mid has 5 kills on my mid. Maybe I should go babysit mid instead of helping bot push their lane. Because, I mean, Mumu is just literally just stealing CS in bot lane right now. He's not really helping anything. So he could be going mid now and stopping that turret from dying. I
believe they're trying to push up and take the bottom turret, just from the way that they're playing. That would be my best guess. Luck's doing a pretty good job, actually, of holding back first 3v1 and the tower pushing the wave back, then 2v1. And once that tower went down, I don't know, maybe they just didn't realize map awareness might not be too high right now.
Yeah, I mean, Malphite did back. If they were trying to push that bottom turret down, I don't think he would have backed. He didn't seem too low to me. But Mumu did just walk past Rise.
And Rise did just walk past a Mumu. So, Graves in a very bad position right now. Using his dash. Taking a lot of damage, though. Nice bandage toss from Mumu. Not following it up. There we go.
He does hit the ult. Bad communication, though. Graves backed off a little bit. Another great bandage toss, and Mumu picks up the kill on Rise, which should end the killing spree, giving him some bonus gold.
Definitely good. And especially at the lower levels, a Fed Mumu can carry a lot harder than you might think for somebody who's labeled as a tank. Tears and Curse the Sad Mummy are very good skills. Add a little bit of AP to that, and you know they're doing even more. Alright, so while there's a little bit of a lull, let's just kind of look at the builds right now. Mummy going to get some MR, which is definitely his response to Rise.
It does look like Blue Team Rise is going for a Rod of the Ages, I believe. He has the Catalyst and the Blasting Wand, so I think that's Rod of Ages. Which is, I mean, It is mana, and it is, you know, a build. A possibility.
Mumu coming back bottom.
Lux does use her flash, but
Alright.
I don't think Mumu has his ultimate, so I don't think there'll be anything to engage on.
But there goes... Oh, but Graves walking away. That could have been a kill there if there was a buckshot landed. Maybe with a couple other attacks or a crit. So,
one thing we saw there is Graves did use his ultimate while she clearly had her Banshee's Veil up, and he probably should... Or she didn't have Banshee's Veil.
It was
Okay,
her W shield.
Okay. So he should have waited, at least put a couple auto attacks on her and let that shield go down. That way his ultimate didn't get completely absorbed. I was wondering why she had a Banshee's Veil.
So Malphite deciding to go top and go with Aurelia. Having a lot of armor, but it's not really mattering for him. And
oh my god!
Sniped by Ryze.
That damage output on Ryze is just ridiculous.
Well, he does have that catalyst. Very farm tiers right now. He's got 532 bonus mana from it. Purple team's not careful. It's a little dangerous for blue team because as fed as Ryze is, if purple team can coordinate and take him out early, that's pretty much where all their damage is coming from. Corki right now only having a BF sword, so still being ahead of Graves, but Malphite, on the other hand, is having just so much armor to go up against him with his glacial shroud and his W.
Yeah, this Ryze just picked up another kill in mid, and it's honestly at this point I don't think there's anything that Ryze can do, the purple team Ryze can do against that Ryze. He just bursts him down so fast.
Mumu chasing down Corki, but having literally no mana, so he couldn't do anything to finish off the kill. Hoping Tears would pick it up, but it wouldn't. He must be thinking right now, man, that sucks. I thought I had a guaranteed kill.
Yeah, one thing this Mumu does need to learn is that he's been spending a lot of times trying to make ganks happen, but you can't force one of those, like, you can't force a gank to happen. If it's not there, it's not there, and you're just kind of wasting time. So, Shyvana's been roaming all over the place, getting both jungles and having pretty much free range, and...
being ahead in CS by 14.
Yeah, I don't think Mumu's gotten a blue buff in forever, so he does need to be careful of that.
No dragons have gone down either.
This
Ryze taking a lot of damage to tower, though.
Does manage to flash and pick up that kill, though.
But can Malphite do something to stop him? He ults him.
Does ult him, does plenty of damage to take him down, and ends another killing spree. So that is some bonus gold for that Malphite. We do see Jax and Irelia kind of dancing a little bit up top. The Ignite goes out on Irelia. Jax procs his ult. Irelia's going back in, though, doing a lot of damage with her ultimate. Her true damage is completely hurting that Jax. I don't think there's anything she can do.
Mumu missing the bandage toss, but effectively saving Jax, even with it missed.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, as we saw, Shyvana and Corki did take Dragon, so that will be up around 26 minutes. 26 minutes and 15 seconds, I believe. So that's putting bringing the gold lead for blue team up by only 3,000 actually.
Yeah, I think it's just because a lot of the deaths have been coming from this Ryze. No offense to him, he's not worth any gold now. So he is.
It's definitely true. He can pretty much kind of like auto push lanes down. Actually, his gold might have reset because he got an assist on that Malphite kill.
Oh, did he?
Other Ryze just 2v1ing, pushing these guys, being such a bully.
He has so much damage, though. He has that Rod of Ages completed, and he has the Negatron Cloak, he has his Tear, he has another Sapphire Crystal. He's just putting out so much damage. Mumu's going to try to come down to help, but I feel like every time I see this in Mumu, he is completely out of mana.
Yeah, it seems about that. I think that what it really is he's leaving Tears on too long, and he's using
like right now he has Tear on.
Yeah, his head spin move, whatever that's called, which will drain a lot of mana, especially if you use that with Tears. I mean, a Mumu with a Philostone doesn't really need blue buff, but if you're not really good at managing your mana, then...
Alright, look at top. We see Shyvana and Irelia going in on Jax, and they're able to pick up the kill. Shyvana did use her ult to kind of surge on him, but
Other Rise going down in middle. Purple Rise to blue. Blue Rise kind of chasing down Malphite. He really wants that blue buff. I guess maybe he doesn't want it that much, though. He does disengage.
chasing Malphite is hard to do just because of his slows.
Very true. And the fact that his slow actually steals your movement speed, so it hastes him at the same time that it slows you.
Yeah. Irelia does manage to pick up the top turret, so that is going to give them some more global gold and more of a lead. They're now up by about 5k gold, I believe?
About that, yeah. Pretty much 5.2k, I think. Malphite, dangerously low, could get caught here if he decides to stick around. Mumu going right in.
Mumu's going in, but Malphite is not following. Rise just turns around on that Malphite, though. Malphite gets a knock-up. The Mumu Bandage Toss and Ultimate go out, but Malphite does drop. This other Rise ghosting in, but Irelia is coming in on their flanks, and Shyvana's not far away either. Oh! Rise picks up the kill.
Purple Rise
Well
picks
played.
up a nice kill.
But I think this Mumu's going to go down. Irelia can... Oh, she's
no
not
mana.
going to chase.
I think the name of the game in this, or like, pretty much the, if we were to have a lesson of the day for this game, it's managing your mana. We've seen so many players who are out of mana that literally costs them kills. For instance, Aurelia, I don't know if she could have got a kill there with more mana, but definitely when we saw Mumu chasing Corki below. An ult or a bandage toss could have gotten him the kill, but he was completely out of mana.
One thing we do have to think about, however, is that these are mostly below level 30s. They don't have the full room pages probably yet that most ranked people and higher elo people have, let alone all their masteries. So they do have an entirely different set of specs in terms of the metagame. Rise teleporting in and just completely nuking down that Jackson middle. And it looks like Irelia and him are just going to continue to push forward against this Malphite and Rise.
Mumu coming in from behind, but also Shyvana coming.
Malphite did get bursted down so fast. Mumu just walks by, and it looks like they're going to push down this mid turret. Oh man, that other Rise just... this isn't going well.
Aurelia and Rise are just so tanky right now.
Yeah, this Rise is 13 and 4. It's going to be hard to stop him. He's got another catalyst.
Looks like he's coming to take their blue.
Yeah, he is going to be able to pick up that blue buff, and that's just going to increase his spam ability, which then increases his spam ability because of his passives. So
taking the wolves as well.
Now, one thing I want to point out is earlier, if you watched our our game of the higher elo players, we did see the Graves having almost perfect CS, where this Graves is sitting at about 110, 25 minutes in. The other one was at what, 212 or 220 or something like that. So it just shows the difference between the elos of farming practice and last hitting ability.
So Mumu being taken down top by Aurelia and Shyvana together. And Graves being taken down bottom by Corki and Rise.
Yeah, it
looks like Malphite will also go down.
Ooh, and Malphite does go down, yeah.
Too far away from his turret.
Yeah, with the Rise being able to roam through the jungles like this and just kind of take control and spam his spells, they really need to be careful and stay on their turrets and turret hug.
It's very true, I just got a message. Malphite does not yet have boots. Neither, for that matter, does... No, wait, Aurelia does.
Oh my gosh, that Rise just nearly one-shotted the other Rise. That was crazy. Imagine when this Rise, if this Rise builds a Frozen Heart, the cooldown reduction that'll come from that.
If he does, however, I don't know if it's in his best interest to really, like... I don't think anybody on the other team is really a threat to him right now, but if they are, it would be the combined magic damage from a Mumu and Malphite when
Mumu
he gets
just hit an ult. Now, Mumu just did that ult, but I didn't see it stun the Irelia because she was surging forward, I guess?
Perhaps. Blade Surge isn't a blink, though. It's a dash, so if he was still in the range, it should have got him. He
Yeah,
might have
it
been just
didn't
out
look
of
like
range.
maybe.
Excuse me. Ooh. Purple team in a very dangerous position right now. Even though Rise isn't around to nuke people down.
Malphite does engage on the Irelia though with his ultimate. The snare comes out as well as the stuns, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough to slow her down. Lux did shield.
Ping does go down on Rise to say, hey Rise, you should get in the fight.
Oh man, if this Rise comes in with his ultimate proc, this is going to be a pentakill.
Unless they can all get on him at the same time.
Oh man.
It looks like they might. Yes!
Oh, they do bring him down. Did he not have his ultimate up?
I
no,
don't.
he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Unless yes, he did. He just activated it. So I don't think he activated it early enough to get the spell vamp from it. I think that was the problem there.
The other problem was he did get stunned by Jax's counter strike.
Yeah. Now
So
he does have a frozen heart, like I said, so his cooldown reduction is going to be a little bit ridiculous.
I'm not a Rise player, but I think his passive plus Frozen Heart equal to 40?
I don't know. I haven't played Rise in long enough to know.
But yeah, so what I was saying earlier about Rise being all their damage, and if the team can focus him down, pretty much just happened there. Unfortunately, I don't think they'll be able to make a play in time before he comes back up.
Yeah, I don't think they're strong enough to be able to take out Baron, and that's really like, at this point in the game, that's what you want to be aiming for, is picking off someone so you can get that dragon or get that Baron or possibly even a turret.
So I'm being told that was a strange bandage toss. Fight coming up, laser going down, but not doing a whole lot of damage.
Malphite managing to knock up that Irelia. They are focusing the Irelia, however. Moon's ult's a little bit late, but Rise just coming in and cleaning up. I don't think he's going to be able to pull off a pentakill as much as I'd like to see a pentakill.
I'm being told that Frozen Heart plus Q at rank 5 will equal 30% cooldown reduction. So thanks, everybody.
He's nearly there.
Yeah, with blue it's definitely over 40. Yeah, kind of being a good initiation for Purple Team on the fact that they took down Shyvana and Aurelia pretty quick, both of which are tanky champs, but bad on the fact that cuz Rise came in late and he has so much damage, he just pretty much cleaned up a couple of them and scared away all the rest of them.
Yeah, this Rise is 17 and 5.
Oh my. He's just tanking that tower, not caring. Moon's ult is not up, so he will not be able to snare Rise inside the tower. Rise is just waiting for him to get out of tower range.
He is pretty tanky against this Rise, though, so if him and Graves work together well enough, they could be able to take this Rise down.
Pop the Shurelias! Pop the Shurelias, Amumu!
Irelia did TP in, though, so she is going to be there to help. Jax is trying to make his way there.
Jax coming kind of with a
bit.
late jump there.
Yeah, that was kind of weird, and he's just going to get bursted down as well. Graves
oh
trying
my
to get on
god. Getting baited so hard by Rise.
Irelia just managing to put out the damage to keep him under control and keep that Rise alive. We do see Malphite kind of duking it out with Shyvana back here, but she's doing plenty of damage, and Rise, of course, is coming over to say, hey, look at me, I hit like a truck. Actually managing to kill him before his ultimate lands.
Purple Rise getting jumped on right there. That's an ace.
Yeah, Irelia and Corki pushing through mid, managing to pick up the ace just before Mumu spawns.
People in IRC saying that this game is over the minute Rise got fed. Somewhat true. It could have been turned around, the fact that since he was literally all their kills for the longest time. However, especially you know, with people who are just learning to play, it's very hard to deal with somebody who's so fed that deals so much damage like that.
This Jackson,
Aurelia baiting them so hard with her /L. Right into Rise. We'll surely get a double.
Rise's damage is just ridiculous right now. Picking up a quick double kill. I'm pretty sure we can click on him. We can't see his CDR.
Malphite making the mistake of building a Frozen Heart. Another thing that will really help your gameplay is to start building based on what your opponents are doing. So Frozen Heart, with Rise being so much damage, Frozen Heart's not really going to do anything against him. You're definitely going to want to build at least some sort of MR, you know. Force of Nature if you can get the gold, you know, just picking up a Negatron Cloak, or even a double Negatron Cloak if you need the MR right now, but don't have enough to complete something like a Banshee's Veil.
Another thing that happened is that Malphite, you know, he's going up to farm this top lane, but he did just walk by a fully golded double golem, so, and now Graves is going to kill him, but, you know, every bit of farm helps, especially at this point in the game when you're down by so much. I mean, they're literally down by 17k gold, so, at this point, I don't think they're able to come back, but you still want to keep your hopes up, or not hopes up, but, like, keep your farm up and try to keep yourself in it, even if it's hopeless, because you never know when the other team's going to screw up.
And that is why he should have built MR. Malphite getting chunked, somewhat three-shotted by Rise. Pretty good counter-strike there by Jax, actually. Saving himself from Corki. Saving himself entirely because Rise is not fast enough to get to him. As long as he doesn't re-engage.
They're not even scared. Mumu pops the Shurelya's, but I don't think it's going to really matter. He's just kind of going into his own death now. He's going to get melted. He goes down. 3 members of Purple Team are down right now.
I think that will be GG. Nice stun going off. Aurelia might go down, tanking the tower, popping her ultimate, but her Ignite is on her, getting the Lux Shield. No,
yeah,
she
that
will barely
was enough to keep her alive.
It's still spamming the /L. True troll here on Aurelia. Which is not something I endorse, but it's better to /L than to actually say things in chat.
Yeah. We do see pings going down for Baron, and Rise is going to go ahead and start it.
So for people that are saying in IRC, it's supposed to be just students. This is the student game. However, obviously, it's kind of hard to gauge skill of people that are below level 30. And for this game, I believe I also allowed anybody who was around like 1,000 ELO to join. I think Rise just kind of got somewhat outclassed, and then once the blue Rise started getting fed, it just kind of snowballed. So I think that's probably what's going to be to blame. I've had some people putting out suggestions on how to better pair up people without ELO to appropriate skill levels, and I'm going to look into all of that. Yeah, just if you have suggestions, keep sending them to me in the IRC. I'll check them out afterwards. And also, I'd like to announce now that for starting next week, if you, no matter what your rank is, if you have an actual team, so preset, rank team, etc., that would like to play in this Sunday Night Scrim Series, then I encourage you to send me that. And if I can get 2 teams that have skill levels comparable to each other that would like to scrim, then that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, it'd be fun to cast those. While you were talking, we did see the all of Purple Team go in on Rise, and Rise only managed to take out Jackson Malphite. But he did go down, so they did end that. But Irelia coming in with Guardian's Angel, and yeah, I think Irelia is now to that point where she's just going to be as much damage as the Rise. Whole team jumping on blue team or Purple Team Rise, sorry, and
she's got
game's about over.
She's got herself a fat Mogs. Frat Mogs, Frozen Mallet, Nat Mogs. Or, I mean, no Mogs.
Yeah.
More like Fratma.
Fratmas.
Fratmas. And she also has the Guardian Angel, like you said, so if she does die, well, that's great, but she'll be back in a couple seconds to, you know, chunk down some more people. Yeah, because some people mentioning that because Go for Lols are on Sunday, I might actually start doing maybe a second night where the actual teams play. Maybe during the week, just because people like to go out on Friday, Saturday nights. So, including myself. So that is somewhat of a hindrance in that respect. Coming down to the inhibitor towers here, but Malphite. Okay, a pretty nice ultimate. Really tanking
he did
tower.
have a good ult there. Mumu wasn't there with his ultimate.
He will be picked off by the laser, though, while running back to the store.
They did focus Irelia, and Irelia does have that Guardian's Angel, so I don't think that was the greatest choice. Rise is looking for the Penta.
Still not getting it, though. I think a triple is
Nope.
the highest he's gotten this game, technically.
But that is GG.
Purple team GG.
Going down. It was well played, but that Rise just dominated mid lane and dominated the game for him.
Somewhere safe.
And the taunt from Rise.
So, great play, great effort all around there. Snowballing Rise, very hard to stop. So, for this next game here, we have, let me bring up my schedule. This is going to be another teacher match of, I believe, people between the elos of 1300 to 1500. Don't quote me on that, though. Let me find it. So, yeah, at this point I'd like to say thanks to my fellow caster, ThyAshes.
Thank you for letting me come on.
So I'll definitely we'll be seeing him next week if he's available. And at this point, I have someone else who I promised could cast with me. I just gotta figure out who they were. And I have so many messages. There it is. Yep. Hold on a second. I gotta add them to Skype, so I'm gonna move this way so you can't see their Skype address.
Oh man, the college life.
Oh, I remember that.
People pounding on our door, begging to come in. My roommate saying, "No, Nick's casting. Leave us alone."
Be like, what are you doing? Playing video games?
No.
What's this? League of Legends? I've never heard of it. It must not be that good. It's no Call of Duty.
It's not Call of Duty. You're not getting yelled at by a bunch of 13-year-olds.
No.
Is the screen supposed to be black? Is your screen supposed to be black?
Oh, sorry. I forgot to switch the stream back to my desktop.